As the movie opens, Vic Van Allen pedals his bike through the woods and arrives home. Upon reaching the door, he casually removes his pants, only to be surprised by his wife Melinda observing him. The couple resides in Louisiana with their daughter, Trixie, and attends a party, reuniting with friends like Vic's pals Grant and Jonas. During the gathering, Melinda becomes drawn to a musician named Joel Dash, leading to a moment where Vic observes them sharing a kiss outside. Despite a friend named Mary expressing concerns about Melinda's involvement with another man, Vic brushes off the situation as inconsequential. Later, he joins a drunken Melinda as she whimsically plays a tune on the piano. Joel and Vic find themselves alone in the kitchen, engaging in conversation. In a seemingly nonchalant manner, Vic brings up another individual, a friend of Melinda's named Martin McRae, who mysteriously disappeared a month prior. Vic drops a shocking statement, implying that he was responsible for McRae's demise with a hammer. Joel, understandably alarmed, interprets Vic's words as a veiled threat directed towards himself. The unsettling joke about Vic's involvement in Martin's disappearance spreads throughout the neighborhood, though Vic vehemently claims he never intended it as a threat towards Joel. Unbeknownst to their friends and neighbors, Vic and Melinda maintain a peculiar arrangement within their marriage, a mutual understanding that their love has faded. Vic permits Melinda to engage intimately with others, a strategy to prevent divorce, as long as she remains committed to their family. With Joel preparing to relocate, Melinda extends an invitation for dinner, aiming to resolve tensions between Joel and Vic. The dinner transpires awkwardly, and once Vic puts Trixie to bed, she confides in him, expressing her discomfort and dislike towards Joel. The Van Allens attend a party where they encounter the couple, Dawn and Kelly Wilson. Dawn, an author, engages in conversation with Vic, who casually mentions his job at a magazine publication company. The topic of Vic's alleged involvement in Martin's disappearance surfaces during their discussion. During the evening, Vic finds himself dancing with Kelly, catching Melinda's attention as she observes. Their ride home becomes the setting for a conversation sparked by Melinda's mention of Vic dancing with Kelly. The charged atmosphere prompts them to seek intimacy upon arriving home, propelled by the emotional intensity of the situation. During Trixie's soccer game, Vic receives a phone call detailing a payment made by Melinda to a piano teacher named Charlie Delisle. Suspicions arise as Vic decides to follow Charlie, eventually observing him at a lounge where he showcases his musical talents. Recognizing Charlie's youthful charm, Vic begins to piece together the possibility of Melinda having a clandestine involvement with him. The intrigue deepens later that night when news breaks of Martin's body being discovered, a gunshot wound to the head confirming his demise. At Jonas's lively pool party, Vic and Melinda mingle with their circle of friends, including Charlie, whom Melinda introduces to Vic as her piano teacher. Unaware of Vic's earlier encounter at the lounge, Charlie engages with the group, fostering a growing closeness with Melinda that Vic keenly observes, particularly as they become intimate in the pool. As the rain interrupts the festivities, everyone seeks shelter indoors. Vic joins later, only for the atmosphere to shift dramatically when Melinda glimpses Charlie floating face down in the pool. Amid frantic efforts to revive him, a tragic mishap occurs when Dawn accidentally drops Charlie's body, causing a fatal impact against the pool's edge. Despite their attempts to resuscitate him, it becomes apparent that Charlie was already deceased before their intervention. The arrival of the police prompts questioning among the guests. Melinda, in a moment of heated accusation, points fingers at Vic, insinuating his involvement in Charlie's demise. Vic vehemently denies any wrongdoing, and despite the tense situation, authorities don't bring him in for further interrogation, leaving the circumstances around Charlie's death shrouded in uncertainty and suspicion. The tension escalates as Melinda collaborates with Dawn to enlist the services of a private investigator, David Risiglini, to discreetly surveil Vic. However, Vic swiftly becomes aware of the surveillance and confronts Dawn directly, catching him off guard in front of Kelly and their daughter. Meanwhile, Vic notices Melinda rekindling a connection with her former college boyfriend, Tony Cameron. Despite any personal reservations, Vic maintains a composed and friendly demeanor when Tony visits the Van Allen household, showcasing a surface-level affability despite the underlying complexities of the situation. Eventually, Vic takes Tony on a drive along an eerie forest trail, claiming Melinda would join them at their destination. The drive is nerve-wracking, leaving Tony shaken when they arrive with no one there. Suddenly, a rock strikes Tony's face as he turns around, causing an injury. Despite pleading with Vic to stop, Tony is unable to escape him. Vic ruthlessly pushes him off a treacherous cliff, leading to a fatal fall where Tony hits his head on a jagged rock, sealing his fate. Vic, in a grim and calculated move, hauls Tony's inert body into the nearby stream. Methodically, He binds Tony's limbs and attempts to submerge the body by anchoring it with heavy rocks. After ensuring Tony's disappearance, Vic callously pilfers Tony's wallet before fleeing the grisly scene. Back at home, Vic feigns ignorance about Tony but maintains a facade by persistently inquiring with Melinda about his whereabouts. This persistent behavior arouses Melinda's suspicions, casting doubt on Vic's innocence in Tony's sudden absence. As Melinda proposes a family picnic to the same location, Vic hesitantly consents. Upon arrival, anxiety grips him, fearing Trixie might stumble upon Tony's remains. To his dismay, he realizes the flowing water barely conceals the body. Panic sets in, but Vic refrains from addressing the situation in the presence of his family. Determined to handle it discreetly, he steers them away from the site, all while concealing his unease. As they depart, Melinda realizes she left her scarf behind. Vic, feigning concern, assures her he'll retrieve it, concealing his real intention to return alone and address the sinister discovery without their knowledge. In a desperate attempt to conceal the body, Vic returns to the scene the following day, focused on resubmerging it below the water's surface. But as he labors on the grim task, he's caught off guard by the unexpected arrival of Dawn. Startled and cornered, Vic's actions are exposed to Dawn. Tony's hand floats in, which didn't escape Dawn's sight. In a state of panic, Dawn swiftly flees in his car, prompting Vic to impulsively give chase on his bike, his mind clouded with the urgency of evading exposure. In a high-stakes pursuit through the forest, Vic and Dawn engage in a dizzying chase, hurtling down a twisting, descending path. Vic's familiarity with the terrain grants him an edge as he outmaneuvers Dawn, taking advantage of the surroundings to gain the upper hand. However, the chase careens to a tragic halt when Vic loses control, tumbling off his bike. In a split-second reaction, Dawn tries to dodge Vic but, in the process, loses control of his car. The vehicle hurtles down a steep incline, resulting in a devastating crash at the base of the hill, tragically claiming Dawn's life in the impact. Melinda's world shatters as she stumbles upon Tony's wallet in Vic's possession, solidifying her worst suspicions about Vic's involvement in Tony's disappearance. Vic returns home as Melinda observes him from the stairs. Despite the evidence, she chooses to conceal her knowledge, opting to feign ignorance, possibly to shield herself from Vic's potential danger or to resign herself to the life she's always known. She is later seen burning Tony's ID. And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.